Welcome to episode 76, where we continue our deep dive into Robert Greene's The Law of Human Nature. Today, we're exploring the powerful and often dangerous forces of group conformity and the suppression of individual thought, as seen in historical events like China's Cultural Revolution. From 1966 to 1976, this revolution, led by Chairman Mao Zedong, aimed to ignite a new revolutionary spirit, but instead spiraled into chaos, violence, and the dismantling of social order. Greene's insights offer a timely reflection on the psychological underpinnings behind such events. The Cultural Revolution in China, spanning from 1966 to 1976, serves as a stark reminder of the dangers inherent in group conformity and the suppression of individual thought. This tumultuous period, instigated by Chairman Mao Zedong, aimed to revitalize the revolutionary spirit in China, but instead led to widespread chaos, violence, and the destruction of social order. The story of Gao Jianhua, a young student at Yizhen Middle School, illustrates how easily individuals can be swept up in mass movements, losing their sense of self and moral compass in the process. Initially, a studious boy with dreams of becoming a writer, Jianhua found himself caught in the whirlwind of the Cultural Revolution, participating in actions that he would later come to regret deeply. The transformation of Yizhen Middle School, from a prestigious educational institution to a battleground of competing revolutionary factions, demonstrates the power of group dynamics to override individual judgment. Students, emboldened by Mao's call to turn everything upside down, began to question and attack their teachers, school officials, and eventually each other. The social norms that had previously governed their behavior were rapidly dismantled, replaced by a fervent desire to prove one's revolutionary zeal. The escalation of violence at the school mirrors the wider societal breakdown occurring across China. What began as political debates and poster campaigns quickly devolved into physical confrontations, torture, and even death. The story of Vice Principal Lin Shang's suicide and the brutal beating of various teachers and students illustrates the horrific consequences when mob mentality takes hold and individuals lose their sense of empathy and moral responsibility. The formation of rival groups like the East is Red Corps and the Red Rebels shows how easily people can be divided and turned against each other in the name of ideology. Former friends became bitter enemies, with each side convinced of their own righteousness. The tragic deaths of students like Yulan and Zhongwei highlight the senseless loss of life that occurs when young people are manipulated into fighting for causes they barely understand. Perhaps most disturbing is the ease with which the students engaged in rewriting history to suit their narrative. The East is Red Corps exhibition, celebrating their victories with doctored photographs and fake news reports, is a chilling reminder of how truth can be manipulated by those in power. Jianhua's eventual disillusionment with the revolution, as he surveys the destruction of his school and mourns the loss of his friends, serves as a poignant reflection on the futility of the entire movement. The question he asks himself, what had they been fighting over, encapsulates the senselessness of the violence and chaos that engulfed China during this period. The Cultural Revolution stands as a cautionary tale about the dangers of blindly following group ideologies and suppressing individual thought. It demonstrates how easily social structures can break down when critical thinking is discouraged and mob mentality takes over. The law of conformity, as described in the introduction, played out in devastating fashion during this period, with people unconsciously imitating others, thinking differently to fit in, and acting irrationally because everyone else was doing so. To resist the downward pull of the group, individuals must develop self-awareness and a superior understanding of how group dynamics can affect their behavior. This involves cultivating the ability to think independently, question authority when necessary, and maintain one's moral compass even in the face of social pressure. The lessons of the Cultural Revolution remain relevant today, as we continue to grapple with issues of groupthink, political polarization, and the spread of misinformation. By studying this dark chapter in history, we can better understand the importance of preserving individual thought and critical reasoning as bulwarks against the destructive forces of mass conformity. In conclusion, the story of Gao Jianhua and the Cultural Revolution serves as a powerful reminder of the need to balance social cooperation with individual independence. While humans are inherently social creatures, we must also cultivate the ability to think for ourselves and resist the allure of blind conformity. Only by maintaining this delicate balance can we hope to build societies that are both cohesive and just, avoiding the tragic pitfalls that befell China during one of its most turbulent periods. We're now accepting likes as donations. Your support gives us the motivation to create high-quality content just for you. If something resonated with you, we'd love to hear about it. Share your thoughts and personal experiences in the comments below. Your insights might just help someone else. Now, something important. Make it a habit to learn something valuable every day. The content you consume is like food for your brain, so be intentional about what you watch. Remember, the algorithm is designed to influence your thoughts. Don't let it control you. And lastly, don't forget to subscribe.